In the early stages of American history, the South was a place of discrimination for African Americans. The North was a shining beacon of freedom and hope for blacks trying to escape the persecution of slavery and the injustice of racism. In the 1860s, confrontation between the North and the South erupted, which gave the opportunity for blacks to fight for their freedom. This time in American history was the bloody Civil War, which remains one of the costliest wars in this country's history. Although this terrible event tore a nation apart, it gave the chance for African Americans to begin a new life in the North, and many chose Lexington as their new home, which had a small yet vital role in the war.
Among the blacks that moved to Lexington, John Henry Brown and William Henry Scott were the two most notable residents who fought in the war. After escaping the South with his wife, John Henry Brown moved to Lexington, where he became a highly respected citizen. Brown realized that sharecropping was not as prosperous an option as any occupation he could possess in the North, and he became a dignified engineer and member of the highway department in town. While in Lexington, Brown never once experienced discrimination. In fact, he was treated with so much respect that when he passed away at the age of 81, the flag was placed at half-staff in the center of town to honor his memory. Lexington was a place Brown was proud to call home, where he could prosper in peace and gain status as a Black War veteran, which was difficult to do immediately following the Civil War.
Prosperity among African Americans in the North didn't stop with Brown. William Henry Scott was yet another veteran who moved to Lexington. Scott ventured up north after Loring Muzzy, an officer for the Union Army, brought him under his watch in Lexington. Muzzy respected Scott, thus he brought him to Lexington as a free man. Muzzy's family educated Scott and made sure he had all the tools he needed to thrive in Northern society. Scott was a loyal soldier, and he gained the respect of his fellow comrades and his superior officers. In addition to individuals helping blacks adjust to life in town, the town of Lexington took it upon itself to form the Lexington Soldiers' Aid Society, which assisted veterans by providing them with clothing and utilities after the war to make sure they were properly cared for. Lexington was the ideal location for African American Union soldiers to begin a restored life where they could flourish.
Not only was Lexington the birthplace of freedom for America during the Revolution, it also continued its fight for freedom in the Civil War, defending the rights of African Americans. African Americans found the strongest support and best sense of equality while residing in a small town where not many fellow African Americans resided.